And sometimes the old general, he too cautious. Because he know war is crazy.
Yeah.
You know? So it's trying to find that balance between, to know, all right, I'm not having it, but I'm going to be as peaceful about it
That's as best
as I
could.
possibly can.
This is true indeed. I want to shout out everybody for joining us. This is our 27th Letters podcast with the legendary Jeru The Damaja.
Peace.
You know what I mean? Like, growing up, this man was dropping science. Like, he was one of the first MC that really got my ears on that knowledge. Just not on rhyming alone, but knowledge. And even then, I didn't even know what the man was talking about, but I vibrated towards it. You know, and that military aspect of your approach, I needed that at that point in my life. Like, you know what I mean?
I needed it.
Even when you were, because I was just telling him, I'm like, the God went against Bad Boy on a dolo.
Listen,
Dolo.
Look,
like, he went against Bad Boy by himself.
I went against the whole record industry.
Bad Boy Fuji's everybody.
I went against the whole...
He ate up everybody.
I went against the whole record industry, and the only reason I was by myself is because motherfuckers ran.
Yeah, they're scared.
Whoever was supposed to be down, they decided they didn't want to be down.
Handle that.
They worried
You know
about
what
the
I'm
check.
saying?
They worried about the check.
And the thing is that this is, I never regret what I did.
I hope you don't.
It was what I was supposed to do. This is what I do. I wish I was more clever though. I could have got all
Covert?
those. Not even covert, but I could have got all those points across, and have been accepted and embraced if I had a better way of saying it.
But you know what? But you know what? Isn't that the difference between the young general
That's learning.
and the old general?
That's learning.
Yeah.
And I see that. Like, even sometimes people always go right to the thing with Lauryn Hill, but they see, because that's only a piece that you see. Actually, it's a whole long thing, like an hour long. And we started out talking about police brutality in the neighborhoods, and that's how it got into white and black or whatever.
What's that?
Yeah, if y'all don't know what you're talking about.
It was on Video Music Box. It was a round table discussion. It was me, Lauryn Hill, Smith and Wesson, Method Man.
I know what you're talking about. Look it up on
Everybody.
YouTube. I seen it.
And so people get at me and be like, yo, because, you know, a lot of some white guys be like, oh my God, Jay was racist. And first of all, I'm black, can't be racist. All right, but anyway, that's a whole nother story.
Mm-hmm.
And not even because I'm black, can't be racist, but I'm not in a power position to be a racist. Prejudice, yes. Prejudice, yes. I was very prejudiced. Can't deny it. Prejudging everything I said.
It's the young general.
And I said it. Yo, but what I also said was, every brother is not a brother, and every other is not an other.
Yeah.
Sun Tzu said that. It's safe to assume if you've been beating me over my head, and your cousin been beating me over my head, and your uncle been beating me over my head, it's good advice for me to think when I see somebody from your family,
keep a distance.
they gonna beat me over my head if I get too close until they show me something else. And that's all I said. I said, you know, it's safe to assume that somebody is out to get you if they got a history of getting you. You would be a fool otherwise to think anything else. And like I said, really, I'm telling you, living in Europe is, and people gonna say whatever, they go, oh, you sold out. No.
What do you mean sold out? By going to Europe?
Yeah, it's people who
How?
say shit, but you know,
Because,
it's people.
you know, come on.
But
now,
we know.
right?
But you and I know the climate of the music. It
listen.
makes sense for you to go to
Listen,
Europe.
but
that wasn't for you.
I was
What?
like,
What
even-
U.S.
Even my points of view, my point of view has changed tremendously through life. I'm not the militant, angry, frustrated black dude.
So
no
it's
more.
like, oh,
The frustrated nigga.
yeah, right? so now he's a sellout, right?
Because he's relaxed now. He's doing other things. He's evolved.
Because I've evolved.
Yeah.
And that's all it is.
Yeah.
See, this is what it is. And I try to tell people this, and I don't know how it might sound somebody. I don't know if they're going to get it. But when I tell people I have transcended my blackness, meaning that it ain't that important to me like it used to be, because I know it's so much more to me as a man. Of course, I'm always going to be this. Can't change it at all. I always gonna, always, to the end of the days. But if I look at history and if I look at life, and man, if you just stuck on that, you're gonna be limited to what you can do. you're gonna be limited on how you can move.
But you know what? I feel like you grew from your travels, right? So so the city limit really limits your thinking. If you think as far as the city limit, it's gonna limit your thinking. So traveling broaden your horizon.
And that's why I'm gonna say to everybody, travel. And don't travel to places where you just think it's people like you. Travel to places where people is not like you.
Especially those places.
That's where you gotta go. You gotta go and immerse yourself in somebody else's whole shit to see how they gonna treat you, and then you could determine how people are.
And I bet you you got to find out more about who you were going amongst other people.
Yeah, because for one thing, you really alone. You isolated.
So no defense mechanism.
You got to deal with yourself. You got to deal with yourself, and you got to deal with other people. And you got to say, all right, look, I'm here. Let's see. And you know what? And I found, look, even with all the jewels and all of that I was dropping on my records, it wasn't the brothers who was gravitating towards it.
I seen your show the other day. By the way, I seen the show. Where's the Magnum? Where was all the Magnum at Jeru show? Not a good look.
They abandoned me.
But we here though.
It was the people. It was the people who I'm supposed to be against.
Exactly.
Who the people I'm supposed
to be.
Who embracing me.
That's why I tell people.
Like yo,
the spirit,
the
man.
knowledge. They like, oh man, yo, I go anywhere in the world, Poland. They be like the prophet. You taught me so much.
What do you mean? That's the way I felt.
And that's what it's supposed to be. That's what it's supposed to be. It's not supposed to be. See, I came from the ghettos of East New York and Brooklyn. So that's where my journey starts. That's who I'm talking to first, the people that I know. But as I start to travel out more around the world, I get to know more people. And say, oh, shit, yeah, and oh, I see your plight. And oh, wow, the ghetto over here like this too. And oh, wow, y'all get treated like that. Oh, wow, and this is like this. I know countries right now it's not black countries, no Puerto Ricans, nothing like that, none Mexicans, nothing, and they fucked up. They countries are ghettos. They're cesspools, pretty much. They get shitted on by the world, and they great people, and they white too. If they be called white or whatever, European. Yeah. And they got mad love. They don't want to do nothing but show love. Like, yo, how can I be mad at you? Yeah. How can I lump you in a category with somebody else? It's just a lot of things that I've been meditating on and peeping.
When did you make the move to Europe?
I just moved there 2 years ago.
But prior to that,
I've been traveling over there for 25 years. And then I try on and off.
Yeah, because you seem like you're immersed in the culture
on and off. I've been going. What it is that I've been going out there more and more because that's where they want to hear you.
True indeed.
Yeah. I always tell people, they be like, yo, why you move to Europe? Because you don't go to Alaska to hunt for lions. Where the prey is gotta go. Straight. You don't go to Africa to hunt polar bears.
Straight. And you know, I'm glad we saw you the other day at the show. The show was great. If you missed the show at the
it was alright.
This man got on it 1, 2. He got on the turntables and started spinning. That threw me off. I had to take a picture of it. I'm like, nah.
Well, yo,
you know, wait a minute. Alpha used to go back and forth a little bit too in the videos.
I've been DJing for a long time. Like, the first thing I did. That's one thing. You know, my mother, she always instilled that in us to be self-sufficient. So the first thing, when I got my first deal, I bought all my own equipment. Sick. The first thing I bought was 2 turntables. I bought 2 1200s, a Gemini Scratch Master mixer.
You invested in yourself.
Amp, some Sir Vega speakers. Then after that, I got me an MPC 3000. And I used to just go buy records, teach myself how to DJ. And so
this is before rhyming?
No, this was once I got my deal.
Once you go,
your third, I'm not sure.
My third record, I produced it.
Beats, right?
I did the beats, I did the scratches. Yeah. It came out on my own label. Yeah. Like, that's what was my mission. And I've been going, that was 1999.
The first
that was 1999, yeah. Wow. 1999. So I've been independent since 1999. It's 2018.
And right now, that's like the new wave where, because of the technology, imagine you back then with the technology you had. My God.
And I sold a lot of records, and I didn't have none of that. And it was
straight
hardcore.
out the trunk.
It was hardcore. but I was fortunate that I got a good deal with a good company. I still
was that Payday?
No, the company that I use is called Red Eye, and I'm still working with them today.
Okay.
And it was funny because we went to South Africa. It was me, Talib Kweli, Black Thought, Dead Prez. We all did this thing, Black August, and we was in South Africa, and we was in a mall in Johannesburg. My records was the only records on the shelf, and all those dudes was on major labels. I was the only dude on my own independent label. My records was on all the shelves, and that's when Talib was like, "Yo, Rue." And Talib, he'll tell you, that's when he went independent. He's like, "Yo,
because you were building relationships."
And
I built relationships,
and you know what it was? It was that rebel, that soldier, that
gotta get it in,
like,
get
yo,
it done.
I'm out. I don't care who, what, where. I'm going in, you know what I mean? The arrogance that pushed me forward, you know. But now, almost 20 years later, I'm still independent, still rocking, still doing shows. I do hundreds of shows a year. Like, people think they don't see it in whatever their platform
headlining
is. Listen, I host the EDM festival in Europe, some electronic dance music.
That's a big movement. That's big. That's huge.
Listen,
what do you mean? Guys, people are getting residents in Las Vegas.
Check this out. Check this out. I host the festival. I'm on stage in front of 70,000 people, 5 nights in a row.
Whoa.
The festival is 120,000 people. I'm on like a huge stadium with the big lights. I'm on giant screens and all of that. No, I'm just hosting.
He's just hosting.
I just go and say, hey, here's the next act. Everybody say ho. It's dope. You know, I love it. And we talking about big dudes like Steve Aoki and Armin van Buuren and all of these major DJs that play this electronic music. And then I also perform at the hip hop park. They got a hip hop park, you know. So I perform there. Onyx was there this year. Talib was there this year. And this is in Romania.
Oh, Romania.
Transylvania, yo. Transylvania, yo. So I can't say, oh, I don't like these kind of people. They got love for me. I come to the airport, the police know me. Like, oh, Jeru, what's up? In Romania. But then you got to think those people like the Romanovs and all them, the Gypsies, as people call them or whatever. That, you know, that whole region, they got a lot of history with a lot of different things going on and a lot of different people. Like in one spot, my man, they got a spot in Macedonia called Kapanan, and that means scale, because it used to be a giant scale there, and people used to come from all over, from Turkey, from here, from there, to come over there, because that's Macedonia, right, with Alexander the Great and all of that, and they used to all come and weigh their goods, they silk, they salt. Their gold and trade it, and people you could rest your horse up, and you know. So I've been seeing a lot. That's why, like I said, that's why my view on the world is just we be forgetting that when we be talking about history, we talking about the European history of North America, because it was people here thousands and thousands and thousands of years before that. Before that, you know, and so we forget. We think we thinking about the past 300 years or something like that. Everything we talk about, everything that is the past 300 years, the past our oppressive years. You know what I mean? Like the years we've been in straight bondage. True, you know, over here and then.
Well, the years that make their story add up. You know what I mean? Make their story.
They're the puzzle. They're little puzzle.
They're complete.
I want to take it back for a sec. Like, you mentioned your mom. Like, how was your upbringing as a child? Like, you know what I mean?
I went to church school.
So it's Sunday school.
I went to.
You knew the Bible stories.
I went to actual church school though, from 1st grade to 5th grade.
Well, most of the schools, most of the schools are church schools. All the to be real, all the schools are church schools.
So like I knew the Bible. Like then, plus on top of that, I went to church, Sunday school, Bible study. I sang on the choir.
Say a word.
All of that, you know. But the good thing about my mother is she never oppressed us with our ideas.
Oh, she let you be.
She never tried to force us to be like a way. She was just her thing was she would kick it to us like this. When we were kids, we would say something. We were young kids. and she would listen to us, and she would be like, all right, that sounds cool, but I'm the mommy, so we're going to do what I want to do. And when you become the mommy or the daddy,
you're free to express yourself. Do you?
Dude, she never was like, that's stupid, that's not a way to look. Yeah, she tried to enforce us. She wanted us to go to church, and she wanted us to do that because she didn't want us to get killed on the street. But she never told us hatred. She never taught us somebody hit you, you hit them back. None of that.
You know, sorry.
Go ahead.
Guru passed away in 2010.
Mm-hmm.
I believe.
I can't believe it's
what is it?
Long ago.
March?
8 years.
March, right?
No, it was...
it was right before I got out. It was March or February.
April.
April?
I think it was April.
It was like 2 weeks. I came out April 26th. And I remember... No, 24th. Sorry, 23rd. And I remember... Right before he died, like I was like, oh man, I was hurt because I know for me personally, Guru's not revered as that lyricist MC, but I feel like
he was
raw.
He was ill.
He was one of the rawest.
He's one of the illest.
He was raw.
He was one of the illest. I mean,
and then you said he saved your life. Like, how did that happen? You could touch on that.
Because he put me down. He took me to Europe for the first time, December 1992.
Did you meet Primo through him?
I met both. I met Primo at the Manifest video.
Okay.
I met Primo at the Manifest video. But what I'm saying is, by him taking me
to your on tour
and putting me on, that saved my life. Who knows where I could be or who I would be.
And you know what? That's
nowadays.
So true. There were guys that I was locked up with, and when I hear them talk and see their talent, I'm like, what are you doing here?
Because you
literally, I want to go out there, get out there. This you shouldn't be here.
But you trapped up in life, like how we know it. That's what I was. Even when I had the first record, I'm the Man, I was still running around the streets robbing and stealing. And what changed my perspective on that was me and Afu, we robbed a man in Queens, and he turned out to be a police officer. And the way we know, because we had his badge and everything in his wallet, and we was like, and then there was a show that same night at a place I think called Mars, if I wasn't not mistaken. And I was like, yo, I'm not doing that no more. I'm going to just focus on this.
On the music.
I'm going to just focus on rhyming and doing my rhymes. And then, like I said, Guru, he took me to Europe in 1992, December. And first place I ever went was Helsinki, Finland. Okay. And it was a crazy experience. 21 years old. From Brooklyn, straight from Brooklyn.
You got a rude awakening about life at that point.
Helsinki, Finland. We went to London. We went to Switzerland. We went to Sweden.
Wow.
All over the world. Germany.
So he really took you out the hood. You could say.
Saved my life.